Today, I'm back with another top 10 physical media ranking video for you all. Today, I'm going to be showing off my top 10 horror slash Halloween titles that are better for the whole family, so adults and kids can both enjoy these titles, because we can't leave out the kids for spooky season. Everybody wants some awesome horror movies to watch. So let's get right into this top 10 list, and we're going to rank these from the worst to the best. So starting with number 10 here, I'm going to have a whole franchise of films, and that's going to be the Hotel Transylvania movies. Now, I in particular really like the third and first one. The second one's okay. I think the fourth one is just awful, but at least the first three are a good time for the whole family. Yeah, it's a little bit more geared towards the kids, but as an adult, I still think you can have some laughs and chuckles with this movie. You get some good animation here, an awesome voice cast. I mean, you got a lot of comedians in there. You got Adam Sandler voicing Drac, the overprotective vampire parent that's just kind of silly and goofy with all of his expressions. It's a fun time. I can enjoy this movie for what it is. Like I said, the third one and the first one are pretty solid, and yeah, it's just an enjoyable time, easy watching movies. Not movies I'm going to watch all the time, but hey, if you know what, you got your younger kids around, nieces and nephews, and you want to put on a movie that still captures the season, go ahead, put on Hotel Transylvania. All right, next, getting into a movie that probably the older kids could enjoy a little bit more with the rest of the family is going to be Poltergeist. Now, I just picked up this movie recently and saw it for the first time on 4K, and I really liked it. It was definitely a spooky ghost tale. You have this family whose house is built on a burial ground, so you get all these angry spirits coming after them and the house and just going after the whole family. It's a very spooky movie. Now, there are some scenes in here that do get kind of graphic, but I believe this movie is rated G or maybe PG, but it's definitely a lower rating, but I don't know how it got away with that rating, because I'm just like, oh my goodness, there's some scenes in here that seem to be a little graphic, but it's definitely not a hard R movie or anything like that. Definitely most of the family can be okay watching this one. I would just say be warned of the flashing lights, especially if you get it on 4K, because oh my goodness, those lights were giving me a massive headache. No wonder there's a warning sticker on here. But this movie, it's just a fun movie. It's a well put together film. Spielberg was heavily involved with this movie, so it's just a good spooky story for the whole family for this season. So definitely Poltergeist. I really enjoy that one. All right, next, gonna have another movie that's good for a lot of the family, probably in particular like the teenagers, and this is gonna be a horror holiday film, and this is gonna be Krampus, who comes not to give, but to take. And so this is just a fun horror holiday mixture of a movie. Basically, you got a family that's just kind of ungrateful and nasty to each other. So Krampus comes after them with his evil minions, and they invade the home. And so it gets kind of a little Home Alone-ish, where they're trying to fight off the minions and Krampus. But I think it's a fun time. I like to watch this one every holiday season. Very easy watching movie. It's not the best movie in the world. I don't know if I love the ending, but I would have really liked to seen a sequel to this one. I think they could have done a franchise out of Krampus. Don't know why they didn't do that yet, but I don't know, it would be cool to see one of these days. But I do really enjoy this movie. Very fun time. Just wish I saw a little bit more of Krampus in it rather than a lot of his minions. Would have liked definitely more of the main villain, but still overall an enjoyable time. Perfect movie for the holidays if you want to get some of that horror spice in there. All right, next, going with a movie that's more horror summer, but I still think you can enjoy it during this season, is going to be Jaws. Yeah, Jaws is a movie that I think can be pretty good for a lot of the family. Now, this one has a low rating as well. It's PG. It's not rated R, which I was kind of surprised by for the longest time, because you do get blood in there, because you got this big giant great white shark going munch munch on people. So I was pretty surprised it wasn't R rated. But you know what? I wouldn't say it's over the top graphic. It just has some of those bloody moments in the water, but it's basically a shark doing the violence there. And you don't even see the shark a lot until the third act of the movie. A lot of it's just kind of first shark perspective, but with the amazing score by John Williams, it's just so terrifying. Once that music kicks on, you're just like, oh my goodness, the shark is gonna get someone. This movie terrified people of going into the water at beaches And you know what? It has that staying power. It's classic, it's iconic. I still love watching this movie to this day, with it being over 45 years old. That is impressive. So I think this can still be a fun movie for the spooky season that everybody can watch, because you basically get a animal attack movie, or a monster movie, as you will, because it's a big giant great white shark that's not your normal great white shark. But yeah, Jaws, awesome movie, and it's filmed by the greatest director of all time, Spielberg. How could you go wrong with that? Just, a masterpiece in filmmaking. All right, next, gonna go with another great movie here, and I'm surprised this one wasn't higher on the list, but you know what? I had to make some tough calls here, and so this one's going to come in at number 6, and this is going to be Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice is a really fun movie for a lot of the family. It's a really interesting, unique premise, with Tim Burton directing this one. You got Michael Keaton in there as Beetlejuice. Oh no, already said the title a couple times. I better not say it again, because then we know what happens. But really fun, entertaining movie. Has some of that dark humor in there, that dark comedy. But I just think it's a really unique movie. You got some good practical effects in there. It's very creepy. Great soundtrack in there. Very memorable for that soundtrack, actually. You got a young Winona Ryder in there. And just the whole cast overall is really great. And this is a perfect movie for spooky season. And once again, this one's going to be mostly okay for a lot of the family to see. It doesn't get too terrifying or graphic or anything like that. But it's definitely a staple in the spooky collection. So really good movie. Can't go wrong with this one. But I can't say the name again. All right. So going to our top 5 now. So this is top 5 my favorite family spooky / horror movies, or movies that are just good for the Halloween season. All right, number 5, I'm going to have to go with Casper. And wow, this movie is highly underrated. It is fantastic. You got some great cameos in there. You even got a Ghostbuster showing up, which is hilarious. But this is just a good movie for the family for spooky season. It got some heart to it. There's even, some creepy, terrifying moments in there, but you still got the funny ghosts. And you know what? It's a good time. I really like this movie. This movie doesn't get enough respect out there, but this Casper movie, I'm telling you, if you haven't seen it in a while, it still holds up. It's quite good. I just really enjoy this movie overall. It's just something about it. Really, really like Casper. Very good movie. All right, next, we got another movie that I would say is probably good for the teenagers and up, because it helped inspired the PG-13 rating system, and that's going to be Gremlins. Yes, Gremlins is an awesome movie. You just got that amazing score to it. It's very creepy. You got Gizmo on the front. That's just a little adorable creature there, but then, once he kind of spawns off these different gremlins, those guys are creepy. I mean, Spike is an awesome gremlin leader with his design. The practical effects in here are fantastic. You get Phoebe Cates in here as well, I believe, and it's just a good time of a movie. Perfect again for holiday season, because it's horror, but you can definitely still watch it during spooky season, because it does have those horror elements. It does get pretty brutal with the gremlins, but there's a lot of comedy in there as well, satire moments, that dark comedy flavor that you can appreciate, really. I mean, Gremlins, it's a fun time. I really like this movie. Some things don't always add up. Like, you can really, pick apart the rules of the Gremlins and all that stuff. But still, I really like this movie. Very, very good movie. It does kind of give you like a Spielberg feel to it, even though I don't believe he directed this one, but I think maybe produced or was involved in some way. But it just is an awesome movie. Great holiday horror movie. More of like gateway horror, I would see. But yeah, just really good movie overall. Excellent, excellent. Very fun. Yeah, that one never gets old. I can always watch that one. All right, next, we're on to our top 3. Our top 3 here. And at number 3 is going to be Hocus Pocus. The first one, because the second one, I think, is hot garbage. But that's just my opinion there. I know some people that actually quite like it. But the first movie is excellent. I remember this movie as a kid, and watching it as a young kid, it would just scare and creep me out. I mean, oh my goodness, these witches were terrifying. The music in here, I mean, it really is a spooky movie for the younger kids out there. Yeah, there's some silly moments in it and some comedic moments, but it rides that line of truly some spooky stuff in there too and terrifying moments. But I think it was just a well put together story told in a very intriguing way with characters you actually cared about and were rooting for. So, I mean, that's what made this story so powerful. Where to me, as the new one, just got really too Disney Channel-y and too comedic and just didn't care as much about the characters in that sequel. I think this one completely nails it. Hocus Pocus, a great movie for spooky season that most of the family can watch and have a good time with it and just be a little kind of spooked out as well. But yeah, great movie. Perfect. Really enjoy this one. Excellent. All right, next. Now we're into the top 2. So second place, I'm going to have to put a whole franchise of movies, and that's going to be the Ghostbuster movies. In particular, I really like the first Ghostbusters and Ghostbusters Afterlife. Both are great movies, perfect for the spooky season. You got those comedic moments in there, so you're going to be laughing quite a bit. But yeah, just a great cast of characters, an interesting story premise, and actually all 3 of these movies are pretty good. I think the second one is pretty decent as well, but I really love that first one and Afterlife. So all 3 of these movies are excellent. We're not going to talk about that other one right now, but all 3 of these ones are really good, especially Afterlife. I mean, it just pays so much respect to the first few movies, has the fan service in there, but then also does something with new characters, which totally respect that, really like that. But yeah, Ghostbuster movies, it's all about the ghosts. I mean, who you gonna call? You got to pick out this movie for the spooky season. Just a main staple. Really awesome titles. Really enjoy those. All right, next. My number 1 spooky season movie. I had to go with one that is perfect during Halloween, that is perfect during Christmas, that gets argued back and forth. Is it more Halloween? Is it more Christmas? I mean, what is it? I mean, it's everything in there and in between. And this is going to be my favorite spooky family season movie, and this is going to be The Nightmare Before Christmas. Yeah, I love this movie so much. This movie has great music in it. Like I said, you got a mixture of genres there, so it does get quite terrifying. And just seeing all the different holiday scenes are really creative. And oh my goodness, I mean, you can sing along to this movie too with how memorable the music is. All the characters are fantastic in here. You got Jack Skellington, of course, that's just going through hard times. And the singing done by is it Danny Elfman? I think it was the lead singer of Oingo Boingo, if I'm remembering correctly. But once again, it's a good time. Compelling characters. You got Sally in there. My favorite, Oogie Boogie. He is the best villain ever. He is just so awesome, so cool looking, just very terrifying with rolling all the dice. You get Santa Claus in there, Lock, Shock, and Barrel in there. I mean, just really good, memorable characters. Great animation. I love that stop motion animation. This movie just does it to perfection. And just, I mean, from the opening scene, this is Halloween, this is Halloween. You're just hooked in, ready to go, non-stop, very fun, all the way to the ending moment. So I love this movie so much, and the kids are gonna love it, the adults are gonna love it. To me, this might be my favorite Disney studio movie of all time. I'm pretty sure it is. Just excellent. You can't forget The Nightmare Before Christmas. Just a perfect movie for spooky season. But that is going to be my top 10 ranking list of all my favorite horror / spooky season movies for the entire family that everyone can enjoy. But now it's your turn out there. Let me know your top 10 ranking list of these family spooky season movies down below. Do you agree with any of the titles on my list? And what else would you have added in there or taken away? Let's have those fun spooky movie discussions down below. And if you're visiting the channel for the very first time and you love collecting physical media and being part of this awesome league of mega film fans, make sure you subscribe right now. That way you stay entertained and up to date on all the latest physical media topics.
They're celebrating!
And if you enjoyed this physical media topic video, click another video to see more. Also like the video, and this is Mega Mike the Movie Man reminding you to make every day a movie day.